What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're taking a look at one of the best strand builds for hunters in Season of Defiance. A perfect build to take into Master Lost sectors, raids, dungeons, and even Grandmaster Nightfalls. This build is super fun and very easy to use, and it provides top tier levels of ability regeneration so that you can keep your enemies immobilized while you shred through them. This build features the exotic chest piece called 6th Coyote, which provides you with an additional charge in class ability. And in our case, this means we'll be able to perform 2 ensnaring slams. This will shackle and suspend enemies who are in a 4-meter radius, stunning unstoppables, preventing barriers from popping shields, and keeping all enemies locked in place for 8 seconds. Since we are also using the Thread of Continuity Strand Fragment, all sever, suspend, and unravel effects will last twice as long. This will be particularly beneficial against champions in Master and Grandmaster level activities. Since we also have the Widow's Silk aspect giving us 2 grenade charges, we can utilize shackle grenades, giving us a total of 4 opportunities to shackle and suspend targets between our grenades and class ability. This means that the focus of the rest of this build will be towards the regeneration of grenade and class ability, which is why we are using Thread of Mind, which grants class ability for defeating suspended enemies. That's 15% for rank and file enemies, 19% for yellow bars, 25% for guardians, and 50% for champions, mini bosses, and bosses. Thread of Generation would be a good alternative as it provides grenade energy when dealing damage of any source, albeit a very small amount of energy. We are using Thread of Warding so that we'll get Woven Mail when collecting orbs. This is going to provide a 60% resistance bonus for 10 seconds. Since enemies hit a lot harder in higher difficulty content, I like being able to reduce how much damage they emit, which is why I really like using Thread of Isolation. This will emit a severing burst on targets after consecutive precision hits. While an enemy is severed, they deal 33% less damage in PvE and 15% less damage in PvP. Thread of Isolation works much like Target Lock, where a counter system is used to trigger the Severing Blast. The counter will be different based on the weapon type, with hand cannons and scout rifles getting the highest percentage per precision hit. We'll also be able to sever enemies with our Threaded Spike, which does hit multiple targets and refunds additional energy if it's caught when returning. The Season of Defiance artifact offers some very interesting mods that synergize very well with this build. The Grenade and Energy Authorization mods come in handy to reduce the energy cost of associated armor mods, and the Multi-Siphon mod will be great when pairing strand weapons up with either solar or void weapons. Shatter Orbs will create an orb whenever we break a combatant's shield with the matching energy type. And Volatile Flow will be great when using void weapons, which we are. This will give void weapons volatile rounds when collecting an orb. Bricks from Beyond is a must as it grants a chance at generating heavy ammo when defeating powerful enemies with void weapons. We're also using Counterweave, which is going to grant ability energy to our least charged strand ability whenever a champion is stunned. The Strand Hunter Super is one of the strongest roaming supers in the game, and it grants you infinite slams while active, so it comes as no surprise that we want to regenerate our super as quickly as we can. This is why we are using Ashes to Assets. This is going to grant super energy for every enemy that we defeat with our grenades. This includes enemies who die from the impact of the grenade and those who die after being shackled. We're also using Firepower and Siphon mods to generate orbs off of grenade and weapon kills. The more orbs we generate, the quicker we get our super, and the more Woven Mail that we'll have. The Reaper class item mod can also be beneficial for this purpose, to create orbs on weapon kills after performing your class ability. Collecting orbs will provide us with armor charge that we'll need for font, kickstart, or weapon surge mods that we have equipped. To help generate additional armor charges, we're using the Shield Break charge, which grants 1 stack of armor charge whenever we break a combatant's shield with a matching energy type. I prefer to stay away from kickstart mods since they drain all of your available armor charges, so to help our grenade and class ability regeneration, we can use the Impact Induction mod, which grants 20% grenade energy whenever we hit an enemy with our threaded spike. We're also using the Bomber class item mod, which will generate 15% grenade energy whenever performing a dodge or slam. The Insulation or Innervation leg armor mods will be a great addition to generate grenade or class ability when collecting an orb. The Better Already mod will also be a very valuable asset to recover health whenever collecting an orb. Weapon surge mods are always a great addition to any build, but the one set of mods that a lot of Guardians overlook are the energy holster mods, which automatically reload matching energy weapons when they are not equipped. I am using Font of Restoration to make up for the lack of recovery points that this build has. Font of Focus, Mobility, or Endurance will also be good to run with this build. When it comes to the weapons that I prefer with this build, the Outbreak Perfected, Osteostriga, Laymanarch, and Wishender are my go-to exotic primaries based on what the activity calls for. All of these exotics provide unique benefits that really synergize well against shackled and suspended enemies, especially that of the nanites created by the Outbreak Perfected, or the poison that's created by Osteostriga. Depending on which exotic I'm using, I'll run either a Deliverance or Riptide Stasis Fusion Rifle with Chill Clip, or a Void Grenade Launcher like Wilderflight or Harsh Language with Disorienting Rounds. A Void Fusion Rifle with Reservoir Burst like the Null Composure can also come in handy. If I'm already using an exotic elsewhere, then a Void Machine Gun like Retrofit Escapade or Corrective Measure is filling up the heavy slot. Otherwise, the Leviathan's Breath or Lament will fill that spot. Weapon traits that generate grenade or class ability energy will be a great addition on legendary weapons, and the Witherhoard can make for an exceptionally overpowered combo to stack on top of shackled and suspended enemies. While the endgame of Destiny can prove to be harder for hunters than it is for titans and warlocks, this Strand Hunter build absolutely demolishes enemies thanks to its remarkable ability at keeping enemies immobilized and weakened. And with the 6th Coyote, you too will have success at taking on Master Lost sectors, dungeons, raids, and even Grandmaster Nightfalls. So Guardians, what are your thoughts on this Strand Hunter build that I'm officially dubbing as the Harbinger of Pain? Have you given the 6th Coyote a shot yet? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what your favorite builds have been so far this season. You will be able to find a link to the Destiny Item Manager page for this build in the description below, but for now that's going to wrap things up for today's video. Thank you as always for checking it out. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. And until next time Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.